Hey guys, welcome to episode 36 of 40 Years and 40 Beers. As always, your two hosts, Bob Bain and Joe Massey. Yo, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How's your week been?
You know what? Not bad. I'm really excited, dude, because the World Baseball Classic is on the WBC, and it's on like every night, and it's friggin' phenomenal. The games have been great. That the countries going against each other. It's one of my favorite things there is in sports.
Wait a minute. You mean it's the Olympics? What is the WBC? It sounds like wrestling to me.
Okay, so right now is spring training, all right, in Major League Baseball. So every 3 years, no, it's every 4 years now, actually. Is it every 4 or every 3? Every 3.
Also starting to sound a lot more like the Olympics, cuz.
Yeah, I know. No, you're right. But basically, it's part of spring training every 3 years before the MLB season starts. So right now you have MLB spring training going on in either Florida or Arizona, okay? Well, players from the major league camps and minor leaguers go and play for the countries that they're from, right?
Mhm.
And it's not in one location. You know what I'm saying? So you're not
No.
going to have like Japan, like you're not going to go over to Japan and play in Japan. Like it's not like a country host. The games are held all over the world.
Okay.
All right. So until you get to like the quarterfinals, semifinals, like the medal rounds, basically we'll call it the championship rounds. All right. So Italy's in it, dude. Israel, the Netherlands.
Really?
Yeah, Mexico, Venezuela.
So-
Dude, Italy's 4-0 in their pool. Italy.
Do these don't say it like that, like Italy, like we can't be
Cuz-
good at baseball.
When was
Do
the
these
last time
countries-
you were sitting in a freaking the stands in a baseball game going, Carmine, come on, hit a homer? When was the last time that happened?
Never. That's why my next question is like you're reading my mind. Do these countries typically have a baseball team outside of the WBC?
Great question. Okay, so
Hold on,
it's
what time
mixed.
is it? At 1:30 is when I have all my great questions. Go ahead.
Okay, dude, this is a great question. So, dude, Australia's in it. All right.
Get the fuck out of
So
here. bro.
Australia has a professional baseball league. All right. Obviously, it's not nearly as good as the majors or the MLB, but there's also people from Australia who play in the majors. The number
right.
one pick in the draft last year, I forget his name, but he ended up going to college at Oregon State. All right. And now he's in the minor league system, but he's from Australia. So he goes back to Australia and plays for them. And like, I think they beat like I don't know who they beat, like Venezuela or whoever the hell they beat. But anyway, it was a huge upset. You know what I mean? They beat Japan. Australia beat Japan.
Wait, who's the best baseball player of all time right now? He's Japanese, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Shohei Ohtani. It's not.
Yeah,
dude.
Jack Hennessy from AA Run. What's his real name? What's his real name?
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And listen, it's very arguably that it's not. He's the best player right now. He's very possibly already the best player of all time.
Of ever, all time, all history.
Possibly,
Woo.
yeah. So we'll sidestep for 1 second. I used to always argue, there's always been an argument, right? Who's the best baseball player ever? Is it Babe Ruth? Is it Ty Cobb? Is it Willie Mays? Is it Mickey Mantle? Whatever. All right. So my argument was always that Babe Ruth is because if he didn't make the Hall of Fame as a hitter, he would have made it as a pitcher. He was a pitcher first.
Really?
Then they found out he could hit, and they
I had
weren't
no
going to play him once every 5 days. So they were like, all right, shit, he's going to go play first base and hit. And that's what happened. But he was an unbelievable pitcher before he started playing every day.
Now, obviously, I don't know all the details and specifics, so you have to guide me through this. But like when people say so-and-so is the best in baseball, the best in basketball, it's more for the offensive part of it, the scoring part of it. It's never for the defense. In other words, like you don't hear much about Michael Jordan's capabilities on defense. You don't hear much about Babe Ruth in the field. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a thing. It's always about the hitting and the scores and the home runs. It's never about the defensive part of it. But
well, not necessarily, because like
factor?
Michael Jordan, dude, for example, won like the Defensive Player of the Year 6-7 times, as
See,
well
that's
as
what I'm saying.
being the scoring champion.
But as a general person of the public, I don't perceive it that way. I always perceive it as like for the contributions on the offensive side, the point scoring part of it. But that's interesting. So Shaq Hennessy is all around. He does defense, offense, all that stuff.
So Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani is he's a hitter right now. He's a DH. He can play the outfield and he pitches. Unbelievable pitcher.
I meant no disrespect. They call me Massey-san at work when I talk to Japan. So I apologize.
Basically, it's better than the Olympics, in my opinion. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, and I don't know like the
What's the point
intricacies
of it?
playing international baseball. because
Okay.
in the majors right now, dude, it's dominated by multiple countries. I mean, you got Japan, you got Venezuela, you got Mexico, you got the Dominican Republic, you got the United States, you got Canada. I mean, there's people from all over the world are in the majors. That's the best part about it. So here's the other thing. Hold on, I didn't even tell
Yeah.
you this. There's obviously a ton of American players, right? And not everybody can be on the US team. So people who hold dual citizenship can go play for another country. So like Aaron Nola, who pitches for the Phillies right now, he's playing for Italy.
Really?
Garrett Stubbs, who plays for the Phillies, he's Jewish, he plays for Israel. That's like,
Wow.
how cool was that?
In the WBC.
In the WBC, correct. Yeah, correct. So I got to tell you about this, and you got to look this up if you can bring up YouTube, because they have a coffee machine, an espresso maker in the dugout.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
swear to God, they hit a home run, they put a jacket on, and they take a shot of the espresso.
That's my kind of baseball.
Wait, you see
WBC
this.
what? What am I looking up?
UBC Italy home run celebration.
It already comes up. WBC Italy espresso in the dugout.
Look at this. They're just look at all these little paisans.
Look at the gold chains hanging off them and all. Oh, look at the pods. This is hysterical.
Is this not
cuz.
insane? That is but you know, there's a home run. I'm telling you, there's a home run celebration where they give it to, and he smashes the cup.
All right, hold
You
on.
got to find that one. See if like home run celebration jacket.
No. Is this it? No. WBC Italy home run celebration jacket. What's this guy doing? I can't believe they just have the coffee.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. Is that not great? They have an espresso machine in the dugout.
So I knew an individual from anywhere in the world could be part of one of the professional teams, and that's just not a baseball thing. What I'm saying is, does Israel have its own professional league outside of the WBC?
That I don't know. I don't believe so. I don't believe I think that's why they have to bring in major leaguers who are, you know, of a Jewish nationality, you know, to play for them. I don't think they have them in the home country. I just don't think it's big. I think a lot of, you know, people from Israel probably are over here playing baseball, right?
So, but are there people who only in their own country natively only play for the WBC and no other baseball?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The one guy
So then
was
how do they practice and train?
so they get ready because they know the WBC is coming up. So they might start training like, I don't know, 6 months in advance. Like, for example, Team Canada, they have a guy, Philippe Almont, who's 37. He hasn't played pro baseball since he was 31. He was on the Phillies at one point. And he's pitching for, who the hell is he pitching for? He's pitching for Canada. Yeah, he's 37.
Now, if your country or region participates in the Olympics and they also participate in the WBC, is it the same lineup?
Not necessarily. Now, that's the whole thing about the Olympics. There's qualifiers. I don't believe that every country that gets into the WBC qualifies for the Olympics. That's
what I'm saying.
The
But if they
WBC is
do
bigger.
qualify, it's not necessarily an identical lineup of players.
No. I mean,
Okay.
especially because it's not, it's always in off years. You know what I
The
mean?
WBC. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so the Olympics will be 2 years from now for the Summer Olympics. They'll be the 2028 games, right? And then the WBC won't happen that summer. You know what I mean? So that's what we
Wow.
got going on now. We're into the quarterfinals. The U.S. made the quarterfinals. They almost shit the bed because they lost to Italy because the manager thought they were already into the championship round and didn't pitch any pitchers and didn't play any of the starters, and they lost 8-6.
Wait a minute. How does the manager miss something like that? What are you talking about?
To his defense, the tiebreakers, right, were ridiculous. So when you play pool play in tournaments, we do it for baseball all the time, for example, for travel ball. So let's say there's 4 teams in your bracket. You play each team once. So you play 3 games. Well, let's say the top 2 teams advance. Well, it's very possible if all 4 teams are evenly matched, you have 3 teams that go 3-1. You know, or you might have.
Yeah.
So then what happens is it's runs allowed. That's the tiebreaker, right? Well, in this case, it was like runs allowed minus the amounts of runs per inning. Like it was something really weird. So he even said after, he was like, "Listen, I just misjudged it. You know, I misjudged it. I mean, it's such a weird tiebreaker."
But don't even though this year's decision-making process was more convoluted, don't you get told?
But I got to imagine you do. But he probably
Yeah.
wasn't told at that point. He probably acted like he knew. He was like, "Yeah, I looked at the standings. I know how it's working." So nobody questioned him.
And they went right into the next game, and he didn't play the way he should have been playing because he didn't think they were in it anymore.
No, and they needed help. So Italy had to beat Mexico. And again, Italy should be going 0-4 in this pool,
Right.
or 1-3. They ended up going 4-0. So they come out and they beat Mexico. Aaron Nola actually pitched the last
It's all the
couple innings.
espresso.
Yeah, and did unbelievable. Well, it probably kicks in the greenies. That's what they said. Greenies were meth that the players used to take back in the 80s.
Really?
And they would say you would see them walking around the locker room drinking coffee. And you're like, man, that's a weird thing to be drinking before a baseball game. You know, it dehydrates you. It's coffee. What are you drinking that for? Well, it kicked in the greenies, kicked in the methamphetamine.
Woof. So hold on. So if you thought you didn't tie and you thought you were out, why would you be playing another game in the first place?
So it's pool play. So you have to play all 3 games. Sometimes, depending on how the pool shakes up, or all 4 games. Excuse me. There's 5 teams in the pool. So depending on how it shakes up, sometimes after your 3rd game, you know if you're in or not.
I got you. All right. I'm learning. I'm smart. It's not how I wanted it.
Don't worry. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you how it all works out. Don't you worry, Fredo.
Who's in the top 4 with USA?
So it's actually the top 8 right now.
Okay.
So you got, let's see, I'll tell you right now. UBC. All right, here we go. So we got Korea and the Dominican Republic. Oh man, those Koreans, when they get back, you know what's going to happen if they lose?
Yeah.
Shit. We can't have, oh my God, these poor, and I'm not, I mean.
Wait, that's a flashback to what? Like episode 4 or 5. I think that was like sitting down to pee when we said.
Oh, that was funny when they were like.
They get put in jail, don't they?
Listen, I don't
Wait, I didn't realize it was the WBC we were talking about back then.
I think we were talking about the World Cup then.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the World Cup.
But no matter what it is, they get put in jail.
I think so. I think they get put in like beat with sticks, and they like put in labor camps.
Last week you thought Elon Musk was Jewish. Is it that kind of I think so, or are you certain?
Well, here's the thing. It just says Korea, right? So North Korea is the bad one. South Korea is okay.
Yeah.
So are they mixed? So what happens? But do they have separate planes?
Yeah.
Because Kim Jong's not going to risk having his Northern Koreaners, right? What if they land in South Korea? What if these players who are from North Korea land in South Korea? You're telling me these motherfuckers are crossing the border back to North Korea? Absolutely not.
I don't know what's
Why would they?
Cuz I don't
Why
know.
would they? If you were out of there, you're out of there. You're out of North Korea. You're free. You know? Lock me up. Throw away the key.
Lock me up. Throw away the key.
Lock me up here in South Korea.
What was his name?
Kim Jong? Kim Young?
No, the guy from Don't Be a Menace we're making fun of right now.
I don't remember. Toothpick?
Yeah. Domino, motherfucker.
Toothpick. Shit,
Toothpick.
Remember he was like, oh, let me get the knife. Let me get the knife. You're cooking the steak. That's funny. And the second game is USA versus Canada. So that's going to be a shellacking. US is going to kill Canada. Then you got Venezuela, Japan. That's a really good game.
Now, is what's a name playing for Japan?
Oh, yeah, Shohei?
Yeah,
absolutely. And then you got Puerto Rico and Italy. And bringing up Shohei, that's the cool thing. So remember, a lot of these players who were throughout all these different countries, these different teams, some of them are on the same major league team. So the last World Baseball Classic, it was Japan versus the U.S. in the final. And you had Shohei Ohtani pitching, who played for the Angels, and Mike Trout was up to bat, who played for the Angels, with 2 outs in the game on the line. And Shohei struck out his teammate in Major League Baseball to win the World Baseball Classic.
Nice.
So that when that shit happens, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know what? You could see it, man, in the players' faces, because they're not getting paid. They don't make any money for this.
For the WBC?
Correct. So yeah, they don't make any money. So you can see it. It's like when they hit a home run to win the game, or to go ahead, or the dugout goes nuts. Like, it's purely for the joy of the game and for your country.
But they're selling tickets.
Yeah, but that goes to international baseball, whatever the International Baseball Organization is.
Have we ever held a WBC game here?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I bet you, I think it tells you where these games are. You got Venezuela, Japan is in Miami.
I'm in Philly.
Oh, I don't think so. No, we haven't. Oh, it's too cold.
Okay.
Quarterfinals is in Houston, Puerto Rico, Italy. Korea and Dominican are in Miami. Oh, those Koreans might stay in Miami, mess. The Dominicans might too. They might not get back on the plane. And then
we lost a couple of them.
It happens all the time, cuz when teams from Cuba come, right? People defect or they walk out of the hotel.
Fuck out of here.
Swear to God. It happens, dude. In Little League Baseball, the Little League coach from the Cuban team, they lost him. He just left the Little League complex and defected, so we didn't have to go back to Cuba.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm dead serious. Happens all the time. Any baseball player who's here, who's from Cuba, from the U.S., they had to defect. So what they would do is
Really?
they'd play baseball for Team Cuba, and then they'd come to, God, sometimes they would go to like the Netherlands or another island to play baseball. Or maybe they go to Mexico to like a Mexican series with the Mexican national team. Guy would walk out of the hotel, it was all prearranged. He'd get in a car. And I don't know exactly how it works, but I know he had to defect. Like they would defect from a different country. They would defect from Cuba, get asylum somewhere else, and then be able to enter the United States. Yeah, but it happens a lot.
I mean, I'm ignorant to a lot of this kind of stuff, so uh, I'm probably gonna sound silly, but when I think of the most popular or most famous sports players,
Well,
majority of them seem like they were born or lived in the United States. I don't recollect a lot of foreign names.
so that's because your expertise is from 20 years ago. Let's be honest, right? You're
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
you're not a baseball fan now. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
that. You like other things. It's shifted over the
Right.
years.
That's what
Yeah.
I wanted to get to. Yeah. So has it completely shifted or is it just blended some sort of like balance between
It's blended. I mean, you have a ton of good, let's call them Latin America players. All right. So Dominican, I guess Dominican, Mexico, Venezuela, Panama. All right.
Mhm.
Puerto Rico's, well, I mean, that's its own country, like for the WBC purposes, but that's part of the US. They're eligible for the draft.
Right.
Japan, China is always good. Chinese Taipei or Taiwan sometimes will put a team in. It's pretty well diversified but right now in Major League Baseball.
That's
I would
crazy. That's
actually
awesome.
I almost wonder if Latin America actually dominates Major League Baseball. I don't think it does. I don't. I still think it's mostly American-born players who do, but
But
Latin
it's
American,
close.
yeah, it's
It's
close.
close. Yeah.
It's very close.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I love, love, love baseball, so I can't get enough of it.
So I think I was telling Rocco or Uncle Dave, one or the other. We were making fun of the basketball video.
Mhm.
And I was telling him, like, that's just not your sport. Like, you were a baseball guy. You played baseball in college. So how did things end for you? What was your situation like when you started playing college ball?
Like, I mean, it was fun. I mean, I got there and it was Division III. I loved getting there. I kind of did a lot more hanging out and partying than I ever did as far as like, getting into baseball. I did a lot more before I got there, frankly.
Yeah.
I ended up playing for a team called the Junior Phillies, RBI Phillies, and that was pretty awesome. I did that for 2 summers and it basically allowed me to travel all over the country and play in these tournaments. We would play in Mid-Atlantic regionals. We'd play in AAU World Series. We'd go play like, the RBI Cubs, the RBI Marlins, the RBI Orioles,
Really?
we'd go play them in the major league stadiums, which was
That's awesome.
unbelievable. I thought I was going to be hot shit. It just didn't work out. It didn't work out that way.
Well, I mean, hey, that happens. But so like I didn't even go to college, and college was the best part of my life as a young person. Yes, I mean sometimes the partying and the enjoyment of that part of your time of your life it takes over. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, it's funny. It's the other day, Chippy was like, "Hey, Dad, you think you could ever played in the W Baseball Classic?" I looked at him. I was like, "What are you out of your freaking mind?" I was like, "Dude," I'm like, "Do you have
Yeah.
any idea?" I was like, I'm they're here and I'm below the ground. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even at ground level. That's how good these people are.
So it's funny you started off with the espresso shit. So like my only connection to that is like what's the famous Willie Mays Hayes? What's that? Major League.
Major League.
Like, you know how they all have their rituals in the locker room and stuff like that. These guys have the espresso. Do you have like a weird, this is how I get ready kind of thing?
So I had routines. I mean, anybody who takes it seriously, especially a game like baseball, you have to have a routine, right? It's all about routine, your warm-up routine, getting in the right mindset. Baseball is a game of consistency, being consistent. So it helps if you're consistent in your routine daily. When I got older, one thing I did was, especially, I'll never forget this. So it was the summer of 2000, and we were down at the Disney Wide World of Sports Complex playing in the AAU
Mm.
World Series. And
In
this is when
Disney?
I
That's
actually,
awesome.
I think I told you this before. I got to play against the kid who was the #1 pick in the draft that year, Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And I mean, he fucking hit a ball. I mean, it still hasn't landed yet, but it was still pretty cool to play against him. And then I'll never forget it because he hadn't signed yet. Like the draft, like literally just happened. So he was still playing for Rancho Cucamonga
Mm.
and out of a team out of California. And it was like the Rancho Cucamonga Dodgers or Cougars or something like that. I can't remember. But we all ate together in this huge cafeteria, and his team just so happened they were like back to back with us at the table, and I was kind of facing him coming in. And I remember clear as day, dude. He comes in, he's got the Florida Marlins hat on, right? And he leans over to the coach and he's like, "Hey, listen, I just came to terms, just agreed for 2.1 million." He's like, I can't play anymore. Thanks for everything." I walked out.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. I'll never
The
forget it.
cafeteria must have went crazy. Were you able to hear him say that to the guy?
I mean, I was like right there within earshot. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
nobody
yeah.
else. Like, it was just like
Yeah, yeah.
me and like another player. We're just like, "Did you just fucking hear that? Did you hear that?" They're like,
Nice.
yeah, but no, I mean, so like, and that was pretty cool. But like one routine I had that summer, every game before we played, is I would listen to the Chronic 2001, and that became
Really?
even for the
So
next
that was like your dreams and nightmares, kind of.
correct for the next
Yeah.
couple years. That's what I would, that's what I would play all the time, and not just. I mean, I play the whole goddamn album.
Dreams and Nightmares is great, but like the Chronic, I don't think there's anybody who can argue the Chronic is like a classic. That's got to be, Rocco's Varsity Team comes out, the T.I. Bring 'Em Out. Like the Chronic has to be up there as like some of the best sports related music and music period that there is. That's crazy that you would what song? Not the whole album, right? One or two songs tops. What song would you listen to? Next episode?
I would always listen to the next episode.
The classics, right? The singles.
Yeah, the singles. And I was just going to say that. I was going to bring that up. Like, the crazy part about that album is, good as they are they even in the top 10 singles of all time?
Well, to be fair, the Chronic 2001 in and of itself, there's a lot of skips. Let's be honest with each other.
You think? I mean, I'm not saying there's not any.
Next episode, and what's the other one?
Still Dre.
Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. The Watcher, Still DRE, and next episode
is the Watcher.
Are the
things just ain't the same for gangsters.
Yeah. And Forgot About Dre. I don't think that's so here's the thing. I don't think that I think Forgot About Dre is a fantastic song. It's one of my favorite, but nobody's going to put that in like the Billboard or the most successful, most listened to top 10, right? So like when you say,
and when I'm asking this question, by the way, it's not my top 10. It's me. It's the probably what Billboard.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. Is like
10.
We and we're getting away from baseball, but we love hip hop just as much. But there's a different top 10 that a fan is going to have, not focused on money and metrics, versus what Billboard is going to give you or Rolling Stone is going to give you. So like I think that like Forgot About Dre is on the list of like fans think it's a great record. But I don't think anybody in mainstream knows what it is. I think a lot of people resonate with Still DRE and Next Episode. I don't think they fuck with the rest of the album.
Like if we were to talk about a top 10 hip hop songs right now, right? There'd probably be 8, maybe 7 of the songs that we said where people were like, "What are they friggin' nuts? I hate that song. It's commercial and pop." Well, that's the point. That's the reason it's in the top 10 is because it was on the radio constantly. The single probably sold 5 million friggin' records.
The top 10, sometimes people get annoyed by, like last time we talked about music, we both had Life After Death in our top 10 albums of all time. I have it as number 1. I think Life After Death is the best hip hop album of all time. But the song Hypnotize is the most annoying and worst record to me on the double disc because it's the single. Like sometimes the one that takes off the most is the weakest to the actual fans. That's exactly my point. What you're saying is like there's a top 10 in terms of like metrics and sales and what Billboard would have to say. And then there's the real like enthusiast and fan top 10, which is going to be a completely different list of songs altogether. Like, so I don't know if Dre makes the top 10 in the Billboard category.
You think? You don't think Nothing But a G Thing is in the top 10 radio play? And
I don't think so. I think Lose Yourself is at the top.
So I think there's actually 2 from Interscope and from Shady Records that are on it.
In the Club is the
in
other
the club.
One.
In the club.
Doom, doom, doom.
Great.
Doom. In the Club. It's worldwide. It was a smash from the second you heard the bass. I think if we're talking about sales and popularity and how well the record did, I think New York State of Mind from Jay and Alicia Keys, the Blueprint 3, I think that's got to be up there.
of all time?
Gold Digger?
See, I don't know. So already, what I would think is above both of those? Miss Jackson.
Woo! I mean, I don't know if I can argue with that. I mean, obviously not looking at the numbers, like we're trying to predict this. That's the point.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think I don't know if I can argue with that. I don't know if I would agree, but
Like, here's
I
the other
can't.
crazy thing we don't even think about, right? Is what's the first song Bow Wow came out with? Bow Wow Wow. Is that in
Yeah.
the top 10 as far as records sold, as far as airplay, as far as
Nah, I
that
can't.
thing was
I
all
think
over
like
for months.
I wouldn't call Bow Wow a one-hit wonder, but he's not that far off. He's not, nobody listens to a Bow Wow album and says this motherfucker's got bars. But if you go even more left to like one-hit wonders, like, and some people might disagree, but Gangster's Paradise, Coolio, that's a one-hit wonder. But I would argue that might be in the top 10, even if it's only for the Dangerous Mind soundtrack. It would be
Yeah,
in
no,
the
I don't
top
disagree
10.
with you. I mean, listen, and this is like if you have like an honorable mention, right? Another one is, and don't get me wrong, Tribe Called Quest is awesome, but there's a lot of
For
hip hop
some
bands
reason,
that
I
really don't
know
know who they are.
I'm
Like
going to lose my hip
Scenario,
hop card. I can't stand Tribe Called Quest.
dude. You don't like Scenario?
Nah, I can't stand
What?
anything they do. I
Who?
don't even like Q-Tip by himself, Vibrant Thing and Breathe and Stop. I don't like anything they've ever created at all. I
And then
know that that's
you're
a
probably going to sit here
horrible.
and be like, oh, but I like Leaders of the New School.
No. I mean, I like Busta Rhymes by himself. I don't like that whole group. No, I just they don't do anything for me in any way, shape, or form. I know they're respected. They're at the top. Same thing with Public Enemy. I'm sure Fight the Power is on the top 10. I can't stand Public Enemy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can even do a top 10 singles of all time without putting Public Enemy in there.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I respect them. I know what their contributions were. I know that I'm either wrong or extremely unpopular when I say those kinds of things. They just do nothing for me personally. I'm never putting a Public Enemy or What's a Name record in a playlist ever. But yeah, maybe nothing but a G thing. Maybe there's more from Eminem. Maybe like Stan. Stan might be in the top 10. I would argue. What about Drake? Drake's got to have something in the top 10, even if we don't connect with it.
See, I
Like
think it's
Hotline Bling. Didn't that go? Wasn't that like a T-Mobile or something made Hotline Bling like their company theme song or something, didn't they?
see,
Are we stopping at the 90s again like we always do?
no, it can be, and that's the thing. Like, and listen, maybe I'm just biased because, like, I'm not. You're gonna probably kill me, but I don't like J. Cole. Nick loves J. Cole.
I like J. Cole. Again, I respect him as a rapper. He's definitely has bars, but I can't put a J. Cole album on and listen to it from start to finish. I like a couple records like Lights Please, shit like that, but I can't. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Let's see if we can agree on them. Right? We'll write them down if you got a pen and paper with you anywhere.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we'll go up from beginning to 2004. I think 2004 is a good.
So are we saying that, are we putting them in order?
Let's just see if we can agree on 10. Because you may say one where I'm like, no, I don't think that, and vice versa. Like, it's not in the top 10. Let's just see if we can agree on 10 songs.
I would say Through the Wire from Kanye West is on my top 10.
Okay.
I remember I was doing data entry for Blue Cross Claims Department, and Finn gave me a mixtape with Through the Wire on it. And I remember thinking, I had no idea who Kanye was before that. And I remember thinking, like, this motherfucker is crazy. Like, you could tell in the song he had something wrong with his jaw.
Yeah.
And then when you make the connection that Through the Wire means through the metal wires in his mouth from the accident, it was so mind-blowing to me back then. And then the Shaka Khan sample and the remix, Through the Wire is on my list. I think.
So I agree with you. So that's one.
Renee,
That's
again,
an honorable mention. That's not for me.
could be in the category of a one-hit wonder. Lost Boys didn't have, even Mr. Cheeks by himself, they didn't have a phenomenal career after that.
I got
even
one
Lex
for you.
Coops, Beamers, and the Benz wasn't as popping as Renee. Renee is a classic.
No, I got one for you. And we already talked about it. See, this is the whole part, too, about going, like, you could be like, no, that's not on my list. Then that means it's scratched. All right? So I got one for you, Miss Jackson.
Hit me. Miss Jackson. I think
It can be in your honorable mention if it's not on your list.
No, it's not. It's definitely not on my list. I think it slaps in the club. It's not on my list, but I can't argue with it.
Exactly. Like, I can't argue with Renee.
Right.
It's just not in my top 10.
Yeah.
So we each go 2 and 2, and we'll see if we can.
Benjamins?
Well, hold on. You did 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
All
Miss
right.
Jackson, and what else?
All right. Shook Ones, Part 2.
I agree. That's on my list. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
dude, Mobb Deep, like they were, and maybe it was just because it was the first time I thought about the age of rappers. It was the first time that I was like, you know what? These are fucking teenagers.
They were super young
Yeah,
kids.
they were
Do you know
ridiculously
where
young.
that beat came from?
What the hell? No, where'd it
No,
come from? Yeah. Well, I do know where that came from. Under Pressure?
no,
No.
it's his stove. It's the gas stove lighting.
Is it? No shit.
Yeah, when you light the gas stove, it makes that sound in the beginning, that clicking noise before the fire kicks in, before the propane, and
I mean, I'm trying to think. That's 92? Because that was a 92 Maxima in the video.
he caught that clip. He recorded that sound and looped it. That's where you got the beat from, the gas stove, cuz.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 2. So we got 2 we agree on. Go ahead.
All right. Benjamins.
All About the Benjamins?
Yeah, the remix with Biggie. Yeah.
With Puffy?
With the whole bad boy.
It's not in my top 10.
When the beat switches and Biggie, it's like one of the biggest group records of all time too. Okay.
It is. See, what's crazy is off that album, I would probably put Victory ahead
Correct.
of it.
In the fan top 10. But in the Billboard top 10, I feel like it might be more Benjamins. But I agree with you. Victory is a way better song than Benjamins for sure.
It's not on my list, but I see where you're going with that. It's definitely deserves to possibly be there.
I also think Dreams and Nightmares came much, much later, but I also think it's the first hip hop song to be at the top of the popularity list that had a beat switch. You remember when that beat switched and Biggie's part came on? You know what I mean? And he was like recently dead and people lost their fucking minds. Like, like I've been had skills. So like, I think that was like the first beat switch that a lot of that became mainstream. And then my number 2 in this round for me would be If I Ruled the World. That was the first hip hop song I ever heard in my life. I went back and learned about everything that came before that, but the way Lauryn Hill her harmony starts off If I Ruled the World is like, it's infectious. I think If I Ruled the World is one of my favorite songs of all time because of the memory I have attached to it. But If I Ruled the World would be my next one.
So I can't believe you brought up. It's kind of a segue into my next song that's on there. Ready or Not, Fugees.
1,000%.
That's on your list?
1,000%.
All
Yeah.
right, there we go. We got a third. Because as soon as you're like, yeah, as soon as Lauryn Hill comes on, I'm like, he's going to freak.
Ready or Not. Now, I like what she did with Killing Me Softly, but Ready or Not is the standout record on the Fugees album, and it's absolutely in the top 10 for sure.
Now, my next one is actually another segue from what you just said. And I actually think this is arguably the number 1 hip hop song of all time.
Oh my God.
And again, not for what it means, what it meant culturally.
I'm not ranking them 1 to 10. I'm just saying they're in my list. You're saying this is the best hip hop song of all time, hands down, ever.
I think so. For everything it meant, everything. It basically introduced him to the world. It was on arguably the best album of all time. It's New York State of Mind.
New York State of Mind is I can't argue with that. I don't, because I have If I Ruled the World, I didn't put New York State of Mind on my list, but yeah, it gets honorable mention for sure, 1,000%. And there's a phenomenal, it's super like music history, geeky is shit, but there's a phenomenal video I just saw where this guy explains the piano sample from New York State of Mind and how it sounds like demonic and stuff like that. I'll have to send it to you. But New York State of Mind absolutely gets honorable mention.
Okay. Go ahead. You're up. So we got 3.
Nothing But a G Thing.
Yes, I agree.
It was the first time, like you even Jay said it in an interview one time. Like Snoop's voice, he didn't like 1, 2, 3 into the 4. You don't even need him to rap. And it just listening to him is so dope. Like his voice. But I remember like the video for Nothing But a G Thing and how confident they were. Like that's at the top of my list.
You know what happened? Remember, we had NWA, right? And they were out for a year. They were done by before 1990. It was basically 1989 pretty much. And that was it. So we had a 3-year gap before there was really any more West Coast hip hop.
Yeah.
Real, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then that came out, and you heard that was the first time you heard like the funk sound, and you were just like,
because G Thing was before Tupac came about. So
correct.
Well, before Tupac really started popping and became like Tupac.
Yeah, I mean, he was still dancing. He was still. I mean, he was
Yeah, he
putting
was
out music under Digital Underground still at
right.
this time.
But in terms of putting West Coast back on the map after straight NWA, 1,000%. For us coming from the East Coast, maybe if you lived in Compton, you had a different perspective. Maybe it was MC8 or fucking somebody else. But in Philly, yeah, Nothing But a G Thing was the next time you heard somebody from the West Coast after NWA stopped making music.
Exactly.
And then Rough Riders Anthem.
I love it, but it's not in my top 10 of all time.
It goes down for me. It'll go down in history as like one of the first hooks that you are forced to sing out loud from start to finish, no matter where you are or what you're doing. And it never gets old. You know, like some songs get played out. For me, Rough Riders Anthem, it never gets old.
All right. I like it.
Go ahead.
All right. So two more, and they're totally two different ends of the block. First one is, and it's very, very old. And if this isn't on anybody's top 10 list, it's Blasphemy. Rapper's Delight.
Yeah. Again, it's not on mine. But it certainly gets honorable mention.
Are
Nothing
you?
from.
I mean, because 50 years later,
I know.
comes on, and people still go friggin' batshit.
Yeah, and
everybody knows the words. Your grandmother in South Philly knows the words.
I said a hip hop. Yeah, I mean it's a classic. I can't argue with you. I'm not mad at that.
And then the next one is an extreme change from that. A lot of people would say this guy's not even a great rapper, great MC, but I don't know. I think the song. I don't know that you're ever going to hear a song. Maybe it's because I'm older too, but I remember when I first heard this single, the first time I heard it, I was like, holy shit, what is this in the club?
Yeah.
50
100%.
I mean, when the Massacre, is that the Massacre? Or is that his first album? Get Rich or Die. That was the first album. That was the very first single, right? That was the first single that came out.
Yeah.
And I forget who
Wankster may have been the first single, but yeah, it was In the Club is way bigger than Wankster.
Like when that came out, I remember I forget who I saw on Drink Champs talking about it. I think it might have been Busta Rhymes, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, when I heard this shit In the Club came out, all you heard was dun dun."
No, it was Irv Gotti. It was Irv
Gotti.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Shit, everybody's fucked." He was like,
"That's what I'm saying." From the minute you hear that dun dun dun, like it's In the Club was a smash hit. Like but you knew like if you were into underground hip hop and you were getting mixtapes ahead of that, like how I said, like
you already knew what Wankster was.
You knew what Wankster was, but you knew 50 Cent's first three. I just put Rocco onto it about a year ago. 50 Cent's first three mixtapes. 50 Cent is the Future, God's Plan, and the other one. They were so fantastic that like you would think to yourself, back in the 90s when a mixtape consisted of people rapping over other people's beats, it was very low pressure, right? You could hear somebody do a record and then you could say to yourself, how could I do this a little better or a little different? And it was very low pressure. There were no stakes involved. You didn't have the studio behind you. You just spit 16 bars on a fucking great beat and you moved on. So people's mixtapes tended to be better than their albums because there was no pressure.
Exactly.
And someone had already done it already. So you had a foundation to either do different or better than. But
well, a lot of times they were freestyles. So this was already music that a lot of these rappers couldn't wait to spit over. And they couldn't do it, and thus it was a mixtape.
Correct.
A freestyle, you know what I mean?
The build-up for Get Rich or Die Trying was not like that. You could think from the success of the three mixtapes that there was no way he could top this with his first real studio album. But Get Rich or Die Trying was far better than anybody could ever imagine.
Oh, yeah, and
because he got all the beats from Dre.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely. So what's that? Is that 4? Is that 4 we agree on out of 10 so far?
That's 4 we agree on. So In the Club was my next one, and Stan. I think Stan's
on my top 10.
Stan is an amazing and Lose Yourself. It's not in my top 10, but I recognize it as one of the most popular hip hop songs of all time. But Stan is in my top 10. In the Club and Stan were my next two.
Okay, so you got another one. Those were your next two.
Yeah, In the Club and Stan were my next two. If I have to pick another one because of
pick another one.
You already said In the Club. I don't know if California Love makes my list. I feel like Tupac needs to be on my list somehow. Like To Live and Die in LA.
So I actually think the number one Tupac song of all time is Ambitions of a Rider.
Yeah. Not for me. I don't even have that in my top 5 or 10 Tupac songs of all time. But
You also don't like Can't See Me, so you don't count.
I like the beat. I don't like the record. I would put Gold, like I said earlier, I would put Gold Digger up there, Gangsta's Paradise. We were talking about Drake a couple episodes ago, how we said Drake doesn't have anything for us past his first album, and tons of people ripped us to shreds about that in the comments, especially on Threads. But
that's what's great about this country. Everybody can have their own opinion, right?
I would argue, like we were saying a few moments ago, Hip Hop Bling or Hotline Bling has to be at the top of the list.
Hotline Bling, yeah, I mean that's an unbelievable.
You know what?
Song.
Are you
flabbergasted? I haven't said that word ever. Flabbergasted that you have not said "Mama Said Knock You Out" yet.
I was thinking about that when you said Rapper's Delight. I have nothing from prior to 93 on my list.
So your whole list is suspect. Do you hear this, listeners? Do you hear? So you ever hear that phrase about people who, like, Massey was 11 years old in 1993, and we still have to say it to this day. Mash, you are aware there was music recorded before 1993, right?
Yes, I am. I am.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Go ahead. What else you got?
Juicy and Big Papa.
Juicy's definitely on my list.
I don't know
again, a lot of the stuff that I did too was what I would think would be in the all-time top 10 of a lot of
It's
people.
A combination.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some of the things that we would put in our own list would be on the top 10 anyway, and some wouldn't. I say Juicy and Big Papa are interchangeable. It depends on what day of the week it is. And Cream.
Cream is on my top 10.
It's got to be.
Cream is definitely in my top 10.
You know what else I find is funny? I want to wait till we're done, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that neither of us are going to put anything from these two individuals in our top 10, which...
Don't say Jay-Z.
No.
Okay.
No, which I would say is got to be... No, we already said Empire State of Mind, but...
That's not.
I have other J on the list.
New York State of Mind, cause Nas, we said.
No, yes, you did.
You said Empire State of Mind?
I disagree with that. Empire State of Mind is when we originally started this.
You did. You're right. I remember.
We were saying like those would be the most successful records. Empire State of Mind, but I have other J on my list. But
because believe it or not, my J song that's in the top 10, I actually have two. I'm going back and forth. I want your opinion. Which one's better? Because the one I actually hate. But I have to recognize that for most people and for airplay and for commercialism, it's probably in the top 10 of all time. It's a hard knock.
Not Annie.
Yes.
Nah.
Because when that song came out, stop with the nonsense and don't say you weren't sitting there blasting it through Southwest like you love.
1,000% I was. And I thought it was one of the most inventive samples ever.
Correct. So it's in the top 10.
But I wholeheartedly disagree with it being in anybody's top 10. I think the story behind Big Pimpin' is dope. I think
with the flutes, come on,
the video version of Big Pimpin'. I don't know what version it is. There's an unreleased version. There was something to do with the amount of time you were on the record or the amount of words you said or something like that. There was some sort of legal stipulation to you couldn't call it your song featuring someone else if you didn't have more lyrics than them or more time than them or something like that. There was some sort of legal stipulations. When the record was recorded, Jay did a verse, Bun B did a verse, and when Pimp C did his verse, he had more, but then he stopped it at like 8 bars. So because he didn't record the whole verse, Jay was able to put out the single as it is. So what you hear on the radio and on the album is 16 from Jay, 16 from Bun, and I think you get like 6 or 8 bars from Pimp C, and then the record's over. But Jay-Z recorded a second verse in preparation of both of them recording full verses and needing to have more time on the record than them.
Sure, yeah.
So on the canopy, my stamina be enough for Pamela Anderson Lee. The second verse that Jay has on Big Pimpin' is one of the best verses he's ever done in his entire career. And most people don't even know it exists. You know what I'm saying? So I would agree. Big Pimpin' is absolutely could fight for the top 10. Although Annie was inventive and it probably did well sales wise, I don't think Jay-Z's core audience in the 90s knew who Annie and Daddy Warbucks were.
No, it's true. I agree.
So
they knew who Chris Rock was from the PJs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I have for Jay-Z. So the same way that I would interchange Juicy and Big Papa, I would say Can't Knock the Hustle or Dead Presidents too. would be in my top 10 from Jay.
So I Can't Knock the Hustle would be ahead of Dead Presidents too for me.
But
And
it's that primo hook. It's the primo hook.
I love Dead Presidents.
DJ Premier doesn't have enough representation in anybody's top 10. The primo Mary J. Blige, Can't Knock the Hustle. It's a phenomenal record. It's got a lot of heart to it. It was his first single for Reasonable Doubt, but the primo hook on Dead Presidents puts it a little notch higher for me.
So here's another one, because again, I feel like I'm doing a better job of paying homage to, pre-93, pre-starting to play with your noodle.
I got two that you haven't mentioned yet. Go ahead.
So Pete Rock, CL Smooth, They Reminisce Over You. Dude,
yes,
come
that's
on.
A classic. I thought
no matter where you are, if you hear the first 3 seconds of that song, you know exactly what song is going on.
Exactly. So Summertime's
definitely in my top 10.
It Takes Two,
definitely in my top 10.
The Message,
the original Message.
Yes,
Grandmaster Flash, the original Grandmaster Flash, definitely in my top 10. And then that would be I'm done. That would be my top 10.
Well, you're breaking my balls about pre-93, and we were talking about.
That's a good job by you. I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud.
We were talking about Snoop and Dre. What about Straight Outta Compton?
What's funny is I love
it. Gets honorable mention. It gets honorable mention.
Now, here's a great question, right? Is Fuck the Police actually more popular than Straight Outta Compton?
Only because
can you argue it?
Only because it's controversial. I don't think people put it above Straight Outta Compton from a hip hop perspective. I think it's more popular because it was more controversial. I think, I remember my dad and his friends making fun of NWA in their car. My dad and his boys listened to NWA the same way that you and I listened to the Jerky Boys. They made fun of it.
Really?
Yeah. You got to realize, my dad and his boys, when did that come out? That was the late 80s, early 90s. I remember him in the driveway playing the cassette tape, and his boys were standing around the car, and they were all mocking it. Do you believe these crazy motherfuckers are doing this? And this is a song? They laughed at it the same way that we would listen to Jerky Boys, like Saul Rosenberg and shit like that. Yeah. So they didn't take it serious. At least Italians in South Philly that I knew and grew up around didn't take it serious. And I think it only existed to the public as it was a shock. Oh my God, I can't believe that they're doing this.
Well, because the Italians you were hanging out with were freaking sipping their anisette and eating that sofrite. What the fuck is the sofrite? Pig's guts?
Pig guts. So, but I think on some hip hop shit, Straight Outta Compton.
What were they smoking? The Nobles? Is that what he called?
The Nobles, yeah, cigars. But to be clear, we're really talking about two different lists here. There's the biggest and there's the greatest. Those are two different things. Biggest,
that's fair.
Biggest is sales and metrics and what Billboard would have to say. Greatest is what the fans say when you're not thinking about the numbers or the money.
No, that's true. And look, this is going to be great about this. The comment section is going to be awesome, because people are going to be like, hey, we like your list, but you missed this one. Trying to think of some songs that we possibly missed.
Let's look up the Billboard's top.
What about something from Pharrell? Is there anything from Pharrell that we're missing that's probably in the top 10?
I mean, maybe Beautiful with Snoop. I don't know. Hold on. Let's look at the top 25 hip hop songs of all time.
One we didn't say, which we might get some slack for, is Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full.
But I said It Takes Two. Oh, no, that's Rob Bass.
That's Rob Bass. But Rob Bass, that's a staple.
Top 25 hip hop songs of all time. Okay, Rolling Stone. Let's go 1 through 20. Let's see. Rolling Stone has In the Club at number 20.
Okay.
They have Beastie Boys, Paul Revere at 19. They have Tupac, Dear Mama at 18.
All right.
They have Run DMC, Peter Piper at 17. Never in a million years. Yeah. Big Pimpin' at 16. We had it a little higher.
All right.
NWA, Fuck the Police, number 15.
How about that?
Public Enemy, Rebel Without a 14.
Yeah, I mean, honorable mention. It's arguable.
Now, this one gets glossed over because Snoop redid it so close to Slick Rick doing it first. But Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, Lottie Dottie, number 13. P-Rock and CL Smooth, Troy, number 12. They Reminisce Over You. Cream by The Woo is at 11.
So that's two more songs we got on our list.
Now we get into the top 10. Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full, number 10.
Damn, we missed it.
NWA, Straight Outta Compton, number 9.
All right.
We said that. Notorious B.I.G., Juicy, that was mentioned, number 8. Fight the Power, Public Enemy, number 7. We had that on our list.
We did. It was mentioned.
Dr. Dre and Snoop, Nothing But a G Thing is number 6. We said that. This is one of my favorite songs of all time, and I didn't fucking put it on the list at all.
I know
Ghetto
what you're gonna
Boys,
say.
Mind Playing Tricks on Me is number 5.
Okay. All right. Really? It's that high? I didn't think it'd be that high. So listen, now what I'm curious to really say if Illmatic is in the next.
We haven't heard the word Nas or Jay-Z. Well, Big
No.
Pimpin'. Number 4 is Run DMC, Sucker MCs. This is Rolling Stone's list. This is in comparison to ours. Never in a million years.
What's number 2?
Number 3 is Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, Planet Rock.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Number 2, Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. And the number 1 hip-hop record of all time, according to Rolling Stone, is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, The Message.
Probably is. It probably is. Hip-hop doesn't exist without that song.
Yeah.
Right?
So we were nowhere.
I mean, that
we
was
were
a
not
time
far off from them at all.
That was a time where, I mean, people were still. Dude, my brother used to tell me about this shit in the 80s.
Yeah.
I used to remember when I was laying carpet for that guy Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I heard stories that like he was one of these guys in the 80s. Like, 'cause my brother graduated high school in 1987, right? So I think Christian probably graduated 87, 88, whatever, one of them, maybe even a little earlier. But he used to walk around in the Adidas tracksuits.
Christian or your brother?
Christian, with vinyl under his arm, like a sheet of vinyl. And they'd bring it out in the street and friggin'
break dance. Yeah.
I think that's that whole Grandmaster Flash, Dougie Fresh, like that's when all that shit started.
I wasn't good at it, and I didn't do a very good job, but I tried to participate. We were talking with Amanda about the Mummers.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was in the Alpha Brigade when I was a kid, and I was in with him a couple years. Like I would be like, I think I was Kermit the Frog one year. We did like a couple. Me and like some of my cousins would be just like background characters and shit, but we dressed and we would be there for the rehearsals and stuff like that in the Alpha Club while everyone else was like getting their costumes together. And you know how like you had to wait all night long to get the phone call to see where you ranked. You know what I mean? Back in the 80s, we would break dance in the Alpha Club on the floor, like as kids. We weren't good at it, but yeah, breakdancing, cardboard and vinyl was a breakdance and was a big thing back then for sure.
You know, dude, talk about dancing. You know how over the past couple years, like Britney Spears has been like putting these videos all over the place where she's fucking dancing in her living room and she's half naked all the time.
No.
She got a DUI this week? Yeah, Britney got a DUI out in L.A. They found drugs in the car. She got a DUI, and then they put out this statement. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna calm down. I'm ready to put my life back together, right, for my kids. Like, bitch, you're 44 years old. You shouldn't have been dancing half naked on Instagram for the past 10 years. That shit should have been done already.
Wasn't she throwing knives in the air or something? She was juggling knives in a video.
But now
naked.
I got that out of my system. I'm good. I'm ready.
She's got like 5 kids and fucking she's a mom.
44 is a good time. Maybe now I'll get it all together. I'm already worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. Let me not lose it all.
How though? How is she? To me,
she fired her sober living team. How does that work? Right? If you're the one who, hold on, hear me out here. So you're the one who needs help being sober, right? So you go off the wagon, you're intoxicated, and you fire the sober team, right? Isn't it the sober team's job to keep you sober? Like, I don't think you're supposed to just go, okay, well, I guess I'll get my last check in 2 weeks and walk out, right? And then just leave the person there to wallow in their drug fucking den. Like, how does that work?
If she got drunk, they suck at their job anyway.
Well, okay, listen, they're not fucking following her around every 10 minutes, right? She goes in the bathroom.
That's what they're getting paid for.
They don't go in the fucking bathroom with her, cuz. She walks in, right? She hides a bottle.
Where else do you blow gaggers but the fucking bathroom? Come on, dog.
She hides a bottle of fucking orange Stoli in with the fucking towels, and then she goes in and she goes to get a shower. Then she comes out after she drank the whole bottle of Stoli. Now she's whacked, and she's going, you know what? You're fired. I would
imagine a sober team has to fucking keep an eye on you. They got to make sure you're fucking not taking crazy shit into the bathroom with you and sneaking it around.
Like, isn't that in the contract? Like, I would think that would be a pretty big stipulation. Like, at any time, if you are not of sound mind or you are intoxicated, you cannot terminate my employment. Because if they don't like what you're doing, you can do that at any time.
But why are you excusing the fact that if the sober team let her get intoxicated, they failed at their job?
I'm not at all. I'm not. I'm just saying, think about this. So the minute she gets drunk, she's like, oh, you know what? Fuck that. I could have done this any goddamn time. All I had to do was sneak a drink and go, you're fired. Like, how can the person who needs the help fire the team that's helping her? Now, can she do this when she's sober? That's what I mean. I don't understand how
Wait a
it's
minute.
helpful if you can fire
Are we
them
talking
at any
about a
time.
hypothetical situation, or did she actually get whacked and then fired a team?
Oh yeah, she did fire them.
All right.
Yeah. So,
What
but
do you have proof that she was drunk or under the influence when she fired them?
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I don't have indisputable evidence. Thank you for bringing that up. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But I do know 100% she fired her sober team. Again, if you're the fucking druggy drunk, how can you, and you need a sober living coach, right? How can you fire the people who are hired to keep you sober?
It makes perfect sense to me. If a lifeguard lets someone drown, you telling me they shouldn't be fired?
I'm saying, what if she does it before she got drunk? Like, if you're completely sober and you go, you know what, I don't want you here anymore, I want to drink, you're fired. You really don't have it's really just a deterrent until you decide you want to fire them, right?
Yeah. And it's not a corporate structure. She's paying them for a service. She could stop paying them and they stop doing the service. Like, I don't think it's that deep. But let's back up a second. What I don't understand is, in my mind, Oops, I Did It Again, Britney Spears, she's a child star. She's done nothing as an adult that warrants her to still be a multimillionaire. Where the fuck is all this money coming from?
Because, I mean, she had a residency in Vegas. I mean, she was still putting out music like in her 30s. I mean, pretty popular music.
She was performing the old shit.
I mean, she was still putting out albums, putting out new music, too. Trying to think, dude. The money she got from Pepsi alone, dude, she's
You're
never
out of your
gonna
mind. What did she do with Pepsi?
She was the spokesperson for years. Yeah, for years she was
the spokesperson. What do you mean spokesperson?
She was
Pepsi Cola?
Yeah. What is Britney Spears' current net worth? So it was 130 million, and then she just sold her entire music catalog for 150 to 200 million. She's worth over $250 million still.
Okay. And I can understand that, selling the catalog, but baby,
even if she didn't sell the catalog, she'd still be worth 130 million.
But for what? Is it all money she banked in the 90s and early 2000s?
No, cuz she's been making money for years.
Doing what?
Making music and touring. You know how much money they get for those Vegas residencies? They get like $20-30 million a year.
I haven't heard a fucking song from her since 06, cuz.
Yeah, ready?
So I know. Yeah, no, I mean, she's making music all the way up into 2025 as far as Apple Music is concerned. But Baby One More Time is 99. Oops, I Did It Again is 2000. Toxic is 04. And I'm a Slave for You is 06. That's as far as my knowledge of Britney Spears' hits goes.
So Circus, it was an unbelievable album she had. I remember that.
Get the frick out of here.
Femme Fatale.
Recite me one lyric from Circus.
I can't remember what that.
Exactly.
How would I know?
She was born in 81. Yes. She's my age.
Correct.
She was born in December of 81. I was born in October of 81. So we're both 44 years old. She was 24 in 06. So from 99.
So here you go, real fast. So, dude, in an 8, her 6th studio album, Circus, put her in the Guinness Book of World Records as the youngest artist to be the only act in the SoundScan era to have 4 albums debut at 500,000 or more copies sold. The album was the fastest selling album of the year and sold 4 million copies worldwide. 2008. What the fuck? That's pretty far removed from freaking Oops, I Did It Again.
What the fuck was Circus? What was on Circus?
I don't know. That one's like do 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 do. I don't know.
Are you listening to yourself right now?
I don't know I don't know the words. Let's see. Then she was on X Factor with a salary of 15 million.
X Factor. Okay, there we go.
All right. Let's see. Then in number 3, here we go. She had a song with Will I Am come out. It was the #1 single in the UK and the US. In 2012, that year, she made $58 million. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here we go. She had her Vegas residency in 2013 to 2015. 100 sold out shows for which they paid her $45 million.
Yeah, but I mean, fucking New Kids on the Block still tour off records they did in 83 or whatever the fuck.
In 2017, she made $34 million.
In what?
That's just what she made that year. And all the shit, that's the money she brought in. $34 million.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, hear me. In 2018, she released her 24th perfume with Elizabeth Arden.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got her hands in everything, dude. Everything. Here we go. In 2008, Spears released her first unisex fragrance. Spears announced her second Las Vegas residency show, Britney Domination, which was set to launch at Park MGM's Park Theater in 2019. Spears was slated to make $507,000 per show, which would have made her the highest paid act on the entire Las Vegas Strip.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine she's put any more. Oh, The Woman in Me. She did put out an album. How about that? How about that?
All right, fuck it. I stand corrected.
Oh, wait. In 2022, she signed a $15 million book deal. That's what it was. The Woman in Me was a book. There's another $15 million. She's just raking.
Christ.
She's just raking it in. My phone fucking had to leave because it was so upset.
Meanwhile, she's fucking naked, throwing knives juggling knives on fucking Instagram.
Yep. Jesus. All right. So I guess we'll end there.
There's no fucking better place to end than fucking naked Britney juggling knives. All right, Mo. Episode 36 is in a can, cuz. The whole family appreciates it.
Thank you. Stop the Z.
It was